So as many of you guys know, we recently just purchased our third investment property. And this is a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom condo. So we've been away from YouTube for a while because we've been moving in and getting renovations done. But now we're back. And in this video, we're going to give you guys the exact breakdown of how much we spent on this condo, what we expect our return on investment to be with this condo, and exactly how we plan to use this condo for our financial independence journey. So stay tuned.
Hi guys,
I'm John.
and I'm Tessine. Welcome to our channel Millennial Fire, where we give practical tips on reaching financial independence and early retirement. If you guys have been liking our content so far, please hit that like button, and if you haven't subscribed already, hit that subscribe button and the notification bell because that really helps us out. So we originally wanted to buy a multifamily property when we were looking to invest this year, but with the market being as crazy as it has been, with prices just through the roof, houses not staying on the market for very long, multifamily properties were just not, the numbers didn't work for us. They were way too expensive, and we couldn't find any in the Orlando area that gave us a good return on investment. So we had to change our focus, and I actually started looking into condos, which John had not ever wanted to do condos because of how high the condo association fees normally are. But I did my research and I found a place, I found actually more than one place that had good numbers and a good return on investment based on the rent in the area and based on the purchase price of the property that the places were listed at. And I did my magic, and I ran the numbers by John, and he, because the numbers worked, there was no denying that, you know, a condo could be a good investment. So that's what brought us into the arena of buying condos. Our plan to reaching financial independence is to buy a property every year until we're ready to retire by the age of 40. And in that way, we're able to buy a property with a lower down payment. And so in order to get the low down payment, it has to be our primary residence. So we plan to live in the properties for at least a year and then make it and turn it into rentals.
And so I want to break down that primary residence versus rental residence situation. So a primary residence is a residence that you say that you're going, well, not that only you say, but you actually live in for at least 1 year. So with that, you're able to get a down payment that's under 20%. So with a single family home or a condo, you can get down payments as low as 3.5%, 5%.
Actually, as low as 3% nowadays on conventional loans.
So with the non-primary residence loan, it's more risky for the lender. So they require you to put down at least 20%. And since things have been even more risky this year with the things that's going on in the world, it's become 25% and 30% for some lenders. So we use our ability to be able to move around into places to get these lower percentages down.
So with that being said, let's get into the numbers. So the property that we originally, when we saw it listed on realtor.com, it was listed for $117,500. That was the price, the listing price, and it was pending by the time I saw it. And they said that they were taking their final offers, but it looked so good that I still decided, as you guys know, my realtor is my dad, and so I still was like, hey, just call just to see. And they said they were still doing viewings. So we looked at the place, we liked it, and what happened is that at $117,500, somebody had put an offer on, and they were under contract, but they had to walk away from that contract, and they put it back on the market. And as they put it back on the market, just in a week, I think it went from $117,500 as the listing price to $121,000, I think it was. $121,000. And they said that they would love to do business with us, and we just asked them straight up, what is your price? Like, what price would you accept? And they told us $125,000. So we put an offer for $125,000. There are some things that came up during the inspection period, which is a period where you have an inspector go out and they look at anything that might be wrong with the place. And from that inspection report, we were able to negotiate down to $124,000 with $2,000 towards our closing costs. And so that was the final price that we purchased the property for. So out of pocket, we ended up paying 10% down. So we put down $2,400 as our down payment, and then the original cost of the closing cost was $5,767.69. And then the $2,000 that we got from the owner was taken off of that closing cost, along with around $700 that was adjusted by our lender. So the total amount that we invested to own this property was $15,100.60.
So this place wasn't in shambles. This place was completely livable, had appliances and everything here. And with that, we were able to get this place 1,400 square, it's 1,400, right?
1,400, a little over 1,400.
A little bit over 1,400 square feet, 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom for that price. So our original plan was to move into this place and live here for a year as is, don't touch anything, move out, do the renovations, and get a tenant in. So in the process of beginning to move in, I came over and opened the refrigerator and roaches ran out. There were roaches everywhere. Roaches were falling from the ceiling. They were coming out of vents. And of course, I can't have my queen living in those conditions. So we got a guy to come out to handle the roaches. And another thing that we also noticed is that the flooring had some water damage. And so with that, we decided to do some renovations so we can be comfortable moving in, because we were comfortable living in the state that we thought the place was in. But with the possible water damage and roaches everywhere, we were like, we might as well do something to be comfortable while we're living here for a year. So we decided to do a complete renovation, paint, floors, new appliances from front to back. And we did leave a bit of the back bathroom because it was in a state that it actually was pretty nice, had some nice tile and a nice shower there. So we left that as is. For our renovations, we spent $28,734.29. And so this place pretty much looks like a brand new place outside of those renovation issues that we'll get to in another video. So in total, our total investment into this property is $43,834.89. What does this number mean to us? Like, how do we know how this number applies to our goals? This is where we get to the return on investment. The return on investment is the ratio between your investment cost and your profit. So this number is very important because it shows how much your money grows over a term. We look at this to try to calculate how much money we're going to have in the future so we can know when we reach our financial independence goals. One more important term that we want to define is cash flow. Cash flow is the amount of money that's left from a rental property after all expenses have been paid. So you take the income and then you subtract all expenses, and at the end of the month, that's your cash flow. We aim to have at least an 8% return on investment via our cash flow per year. So you might ask yourself, where do we get this number 8% that we feel comfortable with? Well, as you guys know, we also love investing in index funds. And when you invest in a total stock market fund or an S&P 500 fund, you can expect around 7 to 8% on average over the course of a year. So we feel that if we're going to take the chance to invest in real estate, we need to get at least that back in cash flow, not including anything else, to make sure that our money is at least getting the value that it would get if it was in an index fund in the stock market. So there are other ways where investment properties can make you money. That includes the growth in the property value and also the money that you're able to save on taxes and tax benefits.
So when it comes to calculating your return on investment, there's 3 numbers that you need to know. You need to know what your monthly expenses are on the property, and you need to know what the monthly income is, and also the total that you invested in the property. And so the way that we came to decide that this place was a good investment was we looked at the market, we looked at different real estate sites like Trulia, Zillow, and we also looked at Rentometer. It's a site that allows you to see what people are paying for rent in the area. You put your address in, you say how many bedrooms, bathroom, and it will tell you whether or not your amount of rent that you want to charge is reasonable. And along with that, it will give you data about what people are paying close to you in the area. So we always take information when we're speculating with a grain of salt. We always want to make sure that we're prepared to deal with the situation if we're not able to get as much rent as we suspect that we get. And so $1,600 is our monthly income for the property. And then our total expenses includes our mortgage. So our mortgage cost is about $485, and then with our taxes and insurance, our total mortgage payment comes up to $600.43. because it is a condo, we also do have a pretty high condo association fee. It's almost as much as the mortgage. It's $442.23. And on top of the cost of owning this property monthly that we pay to the condo association and our lender, we also factor in 15% of the income into an emergency fund to account for large expenses, small expenses, anything that may go wrong with the property. We have an emergency fund.
One of my hesitations about getting the condo were the high condo association fees. But when you think about this 15% that we're talking about putting back that goes toward expenses, that includes things like vacancies. In a single family house, it would include things like replacing the roof when it goes bad and painting the outside when that goes bad. You're covering that in the condo association fees. So you kind of have an additional emergency fund set up by investing in the condo association fees, because they handle the roof for you, they handle everything on the outside for you, and so you only have to handle things on the inside. And so these emergency funds are really important to us because every property we invest in, we want it to be self-sustainable. We don't want to have to come out of our own pocket anytime something goes wrong. We want the property to be able to take care of itself and then just pay us to hold it in our names.
So our total expenses, including the emergency fund, mortgage, taxes, insurance, condo association fee, would be $1,282.66. Once you get that number, you're going to subtract it from your monthly income, which in this property, our anticipated monthly income is $1,600, and times that by 12, because the return on investment is a percentage that reflects your return on investment over a year. And so that's what the 12 is there for the 12 months in the year. And then you're gonna divide that number by the total that you've invested into the property. So that includes your down payment, closing costs, renovation costs. And that amount is $43,834.89. And when you divide it by this number, the total that we get is about 8.7%. And because those numbers were greater than 8, we decided this is it.
So how does this property fit into our financial independence plan? Well, as Tassine alluded to earlier, we plan to purchase one property per year at minimum for the next 10 years until we reach the age of 40. And our plan is to use the cash flow from these properties to supplement our retirement income after the age of 40. So we don't only depend on real estate to provide that, we're also going to be using retirement accounts and index funds, and we're going to be getting to all that on this channel. But this is going to be a great supplement for that. And if we do reach 40 and decide that, hey, we don't want to do this property management thing anymore, we have the option of hiring a property management company and paying that company to manage our properties for us, and we can still reap the benefits of those returns. Or we can even just sell the properties and take the income from selling the properties and invest somewhere else to help sustain our financial independence future. So with that, we hope that you guys enjoyed this video. As usual, please don't hesitate to reach out with any questions. We're just normal people. There's nothing special about us. If we can do this, you guys can too. We just got up and started learning how to invest and prepare for our financial independence future.
And we're reading books to keep up with the knowledge to make sure that we can sustain our financial independence future, and so that we can also help others reach it too.
So with that, if you guys enjoyed this video, please smash that like button for us. That really helps us out with the YouTube algorithm. And also, if you enjoyed this content and you want to see more in the future, hit that subscribe button and that notification bell so you can get notified anytime we post a new video. We're done with our 2-month hiatus and we're back, so expect new videos every week. But until next time, see you guys.
See ya.